are some
No.
players to watch in tonight's game or some players to fade?
Yeah, so I think going under on Caleb Martin's points props is a really smart strategy, at least for the first couple games here, because he's going to be priced up. I think he's at 16.5 right now. I think going under on that makes a whole lot of sense. We've seen Aaron Gordon. His job is just to play tough defense. He's not expected to do much on the offensive end. And I think once they really cut down on Caleb. Caleb Martin looked like the best player on the court in that last series. So we know what Jimmy Butler is going to give you. He's going to give you a high shot volume. He's going to be involved. So if they could take away Caleb Martin, I think there's going to be limited options for them offensively unless they're just hoisting up three. So I like that one. However, on the Denver side, I really like Nikola Jokic triple-double. This is around minus 125. Posted 3 triple-doubles in his last 5 meetings against Bam Adebayo. And thoughts and prayers to Bam Adebayo in advance here because he's going to have a very tough time in this series. Jokic just averaged 27.8 points, 14.5 rebounds, 11.8 assists in 41.8 minutes in the last series, which is just wild. He's not really priced that differently from down the stretch in the regular season. I mean, a little bit, but those 41.8 minutes, if he's out there, he's going to score. He's going to have a triple-double. 8 triple-doubles in 15 playoff games as well. And on the receiving end of a lot of his passes, especially if the Heat ever go to that zone defense, which would be a big mistake in my opinion, Michael Porter Jr. over 2.5 made threes. He's made over that amount in 3 of his last 4 meetings against Miami. Last time he played Miami, 5 of 14 from deep. So I love that volume. When I'm looking at 3-point props, I look at volume first. Made 3 or more 3-pointers in all 4 wins against the Lakers, shot 40.8%. So he's really thriving with that space from the perimeter that he's getting. So like that. And also Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. This guy's been a little bit of an unsung hero here. Averaged 16 points per game over his last 5 contests. One of the clear mispriced game 1 lines to me, in my opinion here. These have been his scoring outputs in that span. 21, 21, 8, 17, and 13. So easily over in 4 of those 5 games. Multiple 3-point shots made as well in that set of games. And like Porter Jr., he's going to see those open looks that just comes from playing with Joker. So I love that. I think KCP is actually might be my favorite, which is not something I expected to say heading into this series, but love those guys in particular. And I think I would definitely stay with the Nuggets side just because we know what we're going to get from everyone involved, where it's going to be a little bit of a question mark on the Miami side, just because if guys like Max Strus or Duncan Robinson choose to, make 3-4 3-pointers or whatever, Eric Spoelstra is kind of going to ride the hot hand there. So if you're going with the Heat and you really want to bet something there, I'd go Jimmy Butler, points, rebounds, and assists, or just rebounds and assists or something like that. But I would stay away from the Heat.
Is there any way that Coach Spo can brew something up and maybe limit Nikola Jokic in this game? Or do you think he's just unguardable?
Yeah, he's just unguardable. And that's honestly a truthful answer. It's not because, I'm a Nikola Jokic fan or, I just don't think that he's someone that you can game plan for. I do think that he is someone that you can try and limit in certain areas. But after a while, when you have a guy at his size that and this isn't talked about enough, is conditioned to a point to where he can really withstand long minutes in a ball game and also be injury free. So hopefully I'm not putting any bad juju on Nikola Jokic when I say that. But when you look at the amount of minutes that he's played, especially in that game against the Los Angeles Lakers in LA, where he played the final 33 minutes of the game. And I've been saying this to a lot of different people in different shows that I've joined as a guest on their platform, but he's rebounding the basketball. He's pushing in transition in the half court. He's in the post. He's making plays for other players. He's making plays for himself. When you think about the one-legged old man YMCA one-legged step back that he shoots and the ball is behind his head, right? Those are things that when you think it's like, he forced that up. It was a lucky shot. It was a desperation shot. It's like, no, if you know his game and you've been watching his game, that's part of his game. It's unorthodox. It's something you've never seen before. And so, therefore, it's really unguardable. But I will give Eric Spoelstra credit in this, and that he is one of the greatest coaches that we've seen in the modern NBA, and really deserves his credit on what he's been able to do, especially when it comes to slowing down some of the best players in the league. And we saw that in Game 7 against Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And I know Jason Tatum sprained his ankle early in the game, and that limited him. But still, it's just the certain positions that he puts opposing players, star players in, that makes them uncomfortable. But we've seen that with Nikola Jokic. When you go back to the series against the Timberwolves, they tried to throw size and strength at him with Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. That didn't work. Okay, you're moving forward to the Phoenix Suns series against DeAndre Ayton. More size, more just different matchups. Jack Lauderdale tried to switch things up and give him a different look. That didn't work. The Lakers, Anthony Davis, who has really had himself a great run in the second half of the season and also in the playoffs, you could argue that he was the best defensive player in the playoffs before the Lakers got bounced out. That didn't work. So it's just you try to put him in those positions where it's a different look, or you just try and put different guys on him in certain minutes that just slows him down a little bit. But after a certain amount of time, and I'm saying a certain amount of time and meaning a few minutes, Jokic figures it out, and he's back to being who he is, and that's one of the best bigs, if not the best big, in the NBA. So I can't see Eric Spoelstra really slowing down Nikola Jokic to the point where he's ineffective and he's not really impactful in this game. As you mentioned, we've seen him struggle, and he had 53 points. We've seen him struggle against the Lakers, and he still had triple-doubles, right? So when you have a triple-double and people say, well, he wasn't really, that involved in the game or that impactful, and you look at the final box stats, and you're like, man, this dude had a triple-double, but he still didn't play a good game. That's saying a lot. So it'll be interesting to see, especially in Game 1, how Eric Spoelstra comes out to defend Nikola Jokic. Everybody's saying that, he can start with his own and try and slow Denver down with that. But you're looking at one of the best teams in the playoffs when it comes to offense against the zone. So it'll be interesting. But if anybody can do it, it has to be Eric Spoelstra.
So here we are. We've got a whole summer full of baseball ready to go, and there are some people putting bets on week 1 in the NFL. Are you willing to do that?
No, I'm not. You don't even know the finalized roster of some of these teams. And Jenks,
Right.
Let me get something off my chest real quick.
Do it.
Please stop asking me about my opinion on Ryan Tannehill. I don't know. He still has a year left on his contract. Is Ryan Tannehill going to be the starter over Will Levis? I don't know. I'm not ready to have an opinion on damn Ryan Tannehill right now in the season. It's June the 1st. Leave me alone. It's baseball season. And how the hell am I supposed to have an objective opinion on the man that broke my heart into a million pieces in the playoff game where he threw 3 interceptions in a game that we should have won? I had to walk all the way home in my Titans gear, embarrassed, watching the Bengals parade out of our stadium. So am I supposed to have an objective opinion on Ryan Tannehill? I think not. So it's June 1st. It's baseball season. Leave me alone.
I feel like you're NFL therapist here. Chelsa, when you walked out of the stadium, what was it that made you take this loss so personally?
Because I stuck my neck out for Ryan Tannehill. And let me say something. He has had some excellent games, and he's had some good stretches. And for one, he's very durable. You can say all you want about him, but at least he's in the damn game. Until about this year, he has done the best he could with one of the worst receiver cores in the entire league, one of the worst offensive lines in the entire league. What is he supposed to do? He's not going to put up Patrick Mahomes numbers. So I think I am very torn on what the Titans should do with him, but he still has a year left, so we shall see. But yes, everybody asked me that, and I felt like I needed to get that off my chest.
It sounds like the way you describe Ryan Tannehill, it's like he's a piece of Tupperware. He's very durable. He's not exceptional. He's not going to necessarily keep the food fresh, but I've had him for a long time. He's had his moments. You can rely on him a little bit. He's durable. Is he done? You know what? I don't know why I'm asking you about the Titans and Ryan Tannehill, because you clearly don't want to talk about it.